What is happening, my people? Perfected Chaos here, and we are on Battlefield 1. And I just thought I'd bring you some live gameplay of me playing this level. And as a medic, I was currently working through unlocking the guns for the medic. I've only been playing this game for a couple of weeks, but I think it is an amazing game. It really is an amazing game, and I think more people should be playing this. So I'm going to go through this game with you. Again, as I said, as a medic, but just to try and show you that if you haven't played Battlefield before, that it is so worth it. But if you do play it, there are things that you need to know that will help you along the way. It is a crazy game. This isn't about how to kill people. This is more about not even so much playing your class or a role. It's more just about the map, your map awareness, and perhaps what you should be doing as a primary objective until someone engages you. So straight out the bat, you'll notice that the squad leader, I'm in a squad, you should also be in a squad. The squad leader has highlighted one of the flags. Now there are multiple flags on this map, and they all start as neutral when the game starts. If you take a look at the top of the screen, you'll see that there is a timer and there is a count of tickets, and those tickets go up depending on if a team owns a flag, but also if the team dies, the tickets go up. So it's the first team to get 1,000 tickets. So really, to win a game, you could actually win a game without killing anyone. Literally, you could just win a game without killing anyone. You could just take all the flags, everybody could sit at spawn, and the team that owned all the flags, you would just watch their tickets go up until they would eventually reach 1,000. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because it gives you direction on what you should be doing. You see, we're capping flags, but more than that, you want ideally a squad leader that is going to highlight a flag for you to attack or highlight a flag for you to defend. This is quite an attack orientated game. My squad leader played a fantastic role and was highlighting the next flag as soon as that flag had been captured. So how do you capture a flag? You capture a flag. A flag has an area in which that when a player enters that area, it starts a timer, and it will be shown in the top of the middle of the screen when you're in an area of a flag. And the more people that are on that flag, the quicker the timer will tick before it goes from either neutral to you owning the flag, or if the opposing team owns the flag, you have to take it to neutral first and then stay in the area and then take it from neutral to your flag colour. So I'm on team blue and the enemy is in team red. That's highlighted at the top. So now that I've come in contact with the F flag, you'll see at the top in the middle there that the F flag is shown in that diamond, and on the outside of that diamond is a red bar, and that's the progress bar. The more people that are on the flag, the quicker that will turn to a neutral flag, which is grey, and then we will then capture that flag, and that flag then needs to build up to become blue. So currently this flag is now neutral. When a flag is neutral, no team can spawn on it, but if it was red, the enemy team can spawn on that flag. When they die and they respawn, you can choose a flag to spawn on, or you can spawn on a squad member. So now that we've captured that flag is now blue. That means our team can spawn on this flag, and we can then push from the flag rather than pushing from spawn. So I'm going to make another push now up this side here. But there's a few things you can do to aid the team rather than just running at a flag to try and capture a flag. What you can do is, if you notice that down by the minimap it shows my squad's names, and then it has a symbol to the left of them. If your squad has a skull symbol with crossbones, that means that the player is dead and waiting to respawn. So what you can do is you can just find an area where you're not being attacked, wait there, allow your team to spawn on you, and then go and attack a flag, which is a sensible play because multiple people on the same flag makes sense. I tend to see a reoccurring pattern, which is people in my squad make amazing plays, they get themselves into these great positions, but they don't allow enough time to stay out the way to allow the team to spawn on them to make it worthwhile. So here's another opportunity. I've just died, I'm gonna respawn, and when I respawn I'm gonna look at the map and I'm gonna briefly take a quick look to see which flags we own and which flags we don't, and that will help me understand which direction the enemies are going to be coming from, and secondly to let me know how well the team's doing. Now in Battlefield you do get to pick 4 different classes, and the class will generally determine a lot how you play, so that's another breakdown in itself. But my main focus here is just to help you understand how to win a game. On too many occasions I see players sat not really near a flag, on a flag, defending a flag or attacking a flag, but just sat out the way, killing or at least trying to get a kill-death ratio, which is fine. You can play the game however you want, but really to win a game you need to be doing one of those things that I recommended, which was, you know, to cap a flag, defend a flag, or at least support the team somehow, maybe using vehicles. Okay, so I realise that's a lot of information, and so let's just recap again. What is the purpose of what it is that I'm trying to explain here? What I'm trying to explain here is how to win a game of conquest on Battlefield 1. You start with 2 teams, a red team and a blue team, and the winning team is the first team to get to 1,000 tickets. You make tickets by killing the enemy. Each time an enemy dies, that's +1 ticket. Or if you dominate a flag and own a flag, the entire time that you own that flag, you will earn points for your team by owning that flag. Owning multiple flags will stack. So how do you own a flag? You own a flag by going to the flag itself, which is highlighted on the screen all the time for you. You'll see these letters in boxes. Those are flags. Just head to them. When you put your crosshair over the flag, it will tell you how many meters are away. So if you're on comms with someone and they're like, I need support on this flag, you can tell them you're so many meters away, but you're heading in that direction. Dominating a flag is just by having bodies in the area on your team, which is, again, which brings me back to the kill-death ratio thing. It doesn't matter if you go negative, you can still sit at the top of the leaderboards, because the leaderboards only care about points. It doesn't care about kills. It doesn't go the person with the most kills sits at the top of the leaderboard, because someone that's capping flags and following orders, and I will now break down orders, but the person that is capping flags or defending flags will make points, and points is how you sit at the top of the leaderboard. So when you see people, generally, yes, you get points for killing, but you'll make more points than just killing by supporting the team. Another way to support the team and make points is to do with your role. If you're a medic or a support, it's a lot easier to make points because you can put down an ammo box or a medic box, and players within that area can heal or pick up ammo, and you'll make points like that. So it's not always about kills. it's about points, and making points is by playing the objective, which is a common phrase you'll hear in Battlefield, which is play the objective. So as a rule, you either want to be loading in, getting into a squad. Hopefully that squad leader will be highlighting things for you to do, and you'll notice that that pops up with the green icon on a flag, and the order also will be shown above your minimap on the left there. So I currently have no orders set by the squad leader, but as soon as he gives an order, it will highlight up in an objective. There we go, as you'll see there. And that is what you should be doing. You should be heading to that direction and supporting the squad, which is supporting the team. Okay, so the next thing I want to touch on is the maps. The Battlefield maps are huge. They are absolutely massive. And getting around the maps, there are multiple ways in which you can tackle this. And I mean, generally you can just run in a straight line. Obviously the terrain, you can go anywhere pretty much on the terrain. But obviously going from cover to cover is a much more sensible route. Rather than running in the open, try to stay near objects, buildings, trees, rocks, anything when you're running from cover to cover. These maps are huge, which means the likelihood is there is a plane round the corner, a tank out in the distance, a sniper up on a hill somewhere, just waiting for you to run out into the open and get killed. So that leads me on to my next topic, which is the audio in this game. It's going to take some getting used to. I may be new to Battlefield 1 and I'm only a few weeks in, yes, but I'm not new to the Battlefield franchise. I have thousands and thousands of hours playing multiple Battlefield titles over a span of decades. So I do remember being new, and I do remember how overwhelming the audio is with all the gunfire and the explosions going off, that it can be very overwhelming, and it takes bravery to run around even though you can hear all of these explosions going off near you and gunfire, and you will hear bullets whistling over your head. You just got to remember that unless you can see an enemy, or using the mini-map down the left-hand corner, you'll see red dots. If enemies fire their gun, they'll become a red dot, or if they get spotted, they'll become a red dot. So use your mini-map. But it takes time for you to adjust to all the explosions. But I can assure you, even though those explosions are going off, sometimes they're not directed at you, and in time you will be able to tell that, oh, there's a gunfight going off over there, or there's someone shooting from this direction. That it isn't as overwhelming as it first seems. So when you go into a game in Battlefield, try to get used to the audio first, because it will help how you get around the map if you use the audio. And the audio in this game is fantastic, 10 out of 10, but it is overwhelming. It took me a long time to get used to just standing up and running around, even though explosions might be going off to the left and right of me. In time you will just get used to it. So that's another thing I feel like you need to allow, because there is a sharp learning curve. You need to allow time for your ears and adrenaline to just settle. So we've touched on how to win, we've touched on what you should be doing, what things to expect. I mean, I've kind of just briefly touched over the topics, I didn't want to overwhelm you with information in this video, but hopefully you found the information in this video helpful. I know that there'll be plenty of players out there that know all of this already. This really isn't aimed at you. This is for players that probably haven't played Battlefield, but should. It's a masterpiece of a game. It's absolutely brilliant. But it can be overwhelming. It can be such an overwhelming game. Even after all of the hours that I've played these games, it honestly takes me a couple of games I'll load in, play a couple of games before I really pick up speed into the Battlefield way, if you want to put it like that. So don't be disheartened if you come in and you have like bad games. We all have bad games. But talking about the games, an average game probably is going to last between 20 and 30 minutes. That's about how long a game. So if you get an hour or two, you're going to get a couple of games in, and then in time you will just start to find a rhythm of how you play. I mean, in a separate video, if you like this sort of thing, I can go into much greater detail into each of these topics. But again, if you're new to something, it's so easy to be overwhelmed with information, and I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to just try and encourage new players to try this game out. I mean, I'm on Xbox. If you are on Xbox and you have Game Pass, this game is free to download. I'm not sure about the other platforms, but again, it is a masterpiece of a game. It really is. So you know how the game works, but let's briefly just also touch on how many people play this game. This is a conquest match, and so this is 64 players in a server. So that's 2 teams of 32 real people playing this. And what makes Battlefield so special is that with 32 people on a team, Battlefield has a really good way of you can play the same level twice and it can feel like a completely different game. Because the game has destructible scenery, the level changes as the game progresses, which also makes Battlefield so special is the destructible scenery. There has been some very comical moments in my time where I have done things and blown myself up because I thought I was safe behind a wall, which I wasn't, or I've been in a building and a tank's just come through the wall and killed me. So you have to adjust to that. The destructible scenery in this game is great. It really is. I love Battlefield for that reason of the destructible scenery. It just adds to the absolute mayhem and chaos which is this game. I mean, in total, like, out of all of the games that I've played, I think for me the peak was, for community-wise, the peak was Battlefield 3 and 4. But there's just something special about Battlefield 1. There really is. The community isn't very big because it's an old game, and although it isn't very big, it is very much alive, and the games feel very much alive. Although there isn't massive amounts of servers of people, when you're in a game, it does a really good job of it not feeling like that. Like, the game will feel very busy. Ironically, the clips that I've showed you, there really isn't much in terms of me bumping into people. But I can assure you this is actually quite a rare game of how quiet it was in terms of that. But yeah, so you know, 32 people versus 32 people, and everybody's a real person. There's no bots, there's no computer generated players in this match. It's all real people, and because it's real people, you have real reactions, and like I say, people will do whatever people do, which means the engagements that you get into, the gunfights, the combat, is all very fluid and takes place everywhere. You can be shot in every direction at any time, which is awesome, but also very frustrating when it goes bad. It can feel like a losing, like, why am I playing this when I'm just dying to a plane and then dying to a sniper. And then in those scenarios, try spawning in different parts of the map. If you don't have different parts of the map and the entire other team are just dominating you, unfortunately that just happens. Just grin and bear it, grit your teeth, try and make a flanking maneuver. And a flanking maneuver is just, everybody's in front of me, I'm going to go left or right until I lose sight of people and gunfire seems quite distant. Then I'm going to push in the enemy's direction. I'm going to find somewhere and hopefully my team will notice that I've got through behind enemy lines, and they can make a play by you having then going past a few flags and capping a flag in the distance. But every game can feel different, and that's just genuinely down to, one, because you have destructible scenery, but two, because everybody in here is real, and there is 64 of you. It's, you know, that's a pretty big lobby of people. So when you're in a lobby, once the match is over, there will be a voting stage briefly, while players can vote on a choice of 2 maps, which will be the next map that they play, and then the game will start again. So you are in a forever loop. Once you get into a server, you're in a forever loop of these multiple maps that you will just keep playing over until you manually leave. But I think I've rambled on enough. Hopefully I've encouraged you to try this game out. I think it's brilliant. I really do. I think it's a 10 out of 10 masterpiece game, and I think that it is just so much fun. It really is so much fun playing with this many people on a level that is fully destructible, and they give you so many gadgets and things to use. It's almost impossible not to have fun unless, again, like, you're absolutely getting dominated, in which case that's never fun. But yeah, hopefully this hasn't been overwhelming for you, and that you do decide to pick up this game, load up. You know, I mean, separate to that, when you load into the game for the first time, you will be put into campaign, and the campaign in this game is also excellent. Loads of short, real-time stories that play out, and I'm sure that many of the veteran players will agree, if they remember back to playing the campaign that long ago, that it's also a fantastic game. But again, I digress. I was here to just tell you about how to win, how to play, objectives, and the idea and the premise of the game, and try and show you that it is worth playing and that you can have a lot of fun here. A lot of fun. So, but that brings an end to this. And if you've enjoyed this, please give this a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below if you've tried it, or even if you're a veteran, and perhaps you could critique my information. If you think I've missed anything out, please let me know. If you think I've explained something really well, please let me know. But I hope this has earned a subscription as well. I'm a new channel. I'm recently created this channel, and looking to touch out and reach out to other gamers, like-minded people, new and old. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Perfected Chaos, and I shall catch you guys on the next one. Peace.